This video explains 3 additional odds and ends that you will need to know about before you take the PARCC exams in the subject of Algebra 2 this spring. The first topic involves what the text frame both supports and does not support when dividing polynomials. You might need to factor a polynomial by a given factor to answer a question. For example, we have to divide 3x to the third plus 8x squared minus 33x plus 10 by the factor x minus 2. If you look at the different math symbols and capabilities that you have here, notice you have all these operations. You can show a division sign, but you actually, none of the options here are long division. So that function is not possible to do in this text frame. They also do not give you any formats that would completely support synthetic division, but you could show synthetic division by putting spaces in between your numbers. And here's how you can do that. So when we know the factor is x minus 2, that means the actual number that we're dividing by is 2. So that's my factor. I'm going to leave some space and I'm going to stick all the other numbers there. We got the 3, the positive 8, the negative 33, and the positive 10. And then if I go underneath and leave some spaces, I can fill in the numbers as I go on that line, and I also need to go one lower. The first step with synthetic division, you guys know, is to bring down that first number and then multiply. I would end up getting 6, and then if I add those two together I get 14, and then if I multiply 2 and 14 I get 28. And when I add those, I end up getting negative 5. And then if I go back up here, I end up getting negative 10. And then I end up getting the remainder of 0. So therefore, what we just showed with the synthetic division is that we would have x minus 2 times 3x to the second plus 14x minus 5. And then also write a note to your grader. Synthetic division was used above to divide the polynomial by its factor. So whenever you do extra work that just looks like random numbers, explain to your grader what you did, so in that way you can get credit for it. And then from here you can factor it the rest of the way. If needed, you could also do the work on your scrap paper, but put the factored form in this answer space provided. The second topic is about using some statistics notation, and those can all be found in the statistics tab. You can find the mean, the standard deviation, your mean of x, mean of y, using superscript or subscript, factorials, and sums. So all of those notations are provided to you in the statistics menu off to the side there. And then the final topic that I will be discussing for Algebra 2 is solving word problems. As you solve them, you might need to use your scrap paper to draw and label pictures, or your graphing calculator to examine a graph. Explain what you did to solve the problem so that you can receive as much credit as possible. For example, another method of doing this division, it would also lead you to the zeros of that function. So you could have also said, well, I graphed this function in my graphing calculator using the y equals menu. Then I pressed graph, and then I used the calculate zeros command to figure out what all of my zeros were. And they ended up being 2, negative 5, and 1/3. And if you ended up factoring this from here, you would get the 2 remaining factors. So make sure you explain exactly what you did in order to get full credit for the problems. And these are some odds and ends that you should know about prior to taking the PARCC Algebra 2 assessments within the next few months. I hope that you found this video helpful, and I hope that you have a great day.